There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video was, why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos. He basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos. But still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything, and they claimed it was to protect the victims.
Chat, I think my theory is correct about this. I could be wrong. Chat, I think that a lot of it falls on the main guys lying because they own the building, right? Maybe they said it. They looked at the camera footage because they went to the fucking store and you know they did all this stuff with the flags, whatever. They probably said that these guys got in and yoinked the shit, even though they probably took it out. They said they yoinked it, and they had footage of them getting into the building and all that, or being out of the building and all that.
However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting
swatted. That's my theory.
And we caught the entire conversation on camera.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because the receipt.
Why is there not a body that's above these guys that investigates internally and says, yo guys, like, that goes and say, okay, the public says that this is fucked up. Let's take a look at it. Right? And then they ask, and they say, yeah, guys, why did you just redact this, whatever? Why didn't they do that?
I got the night I was released from jail.
They don't do shit, though.
And my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer.
If I'm a level 1 FBI agent and I want to get promoted, I take on this case secretly, and I go and I build this shit up, and bang, I go to the fucking top.
Which is
I'm
the
at the top
Airbnb
now.
host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken.
What?
Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking
Whoa.
Also, officers wrote in the searchable Airbnb owner Legos. The owner reported overhearing.
I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search.
Wait. They interviewed the Airbnb owner? And the owner overheard this how? And how would that... What?
Warrant affidavit. The homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and...
It's all a matter of perspective. At some point, like at some point there needs to be at least one modicum of effort to see the other way around. Like,
try hard.
That's not perspective isn't the problem here. It's more they're not even trying their own shit. They're not. Does that make sense?
Approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all. While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick.
Don't move like what though?
But when we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer was lying, but not fully, because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me. So how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one solution.
I thought they were complying, like what?
Psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me. However, this makes no sense because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves, Josh and Brandon were the thieves.
Oh, kind of correct, yeah.
This can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail. So how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder.
Chat, why is the police like debunking like random shit of a YouTube video, right? When they could just be like using the information in the same video to debunk their own claims and their own warrants. I mean, no. Not riddle me this, riddle me that. If they debunk live the video where this particular photo happens, why don't they look at some of the footage and debunk their own dog shit case?
I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that there's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and in every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department is watching, I'll be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner, dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, if it's already cooked, it's already cooked. Oh yeah, classic.
Boone.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person this would have been fine, but for me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified, and the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign. And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court.
This is a kind of a classic, right? I'm sure if they argued in court, these things are made kind of gray on purpose so that they can stop anybody for anything. It's a classic. I mean,
so
there's not much you can do about it.
What the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way, and instead called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested? Really?
Something about this seems off, and all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out who arrested me and not the guy who's threatened to murder me. However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
What? The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served, and now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. A hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will, I guess, start.
Okay, but
Yes.
Okay.
even if that were true or not true, it's still irrelevant. Who gives a shit then? I mean, I think they're allowed to be there anyway. I mean, yeah, you don't need a legal reason to be somewhere. You don't need to, like, it doesn't even
Okay,
matter.
thank you for your help. That's all for today.
What I'm saying.
No problem.
Okay, bye.
Right here, the police officer
I know the
admits that it
complaint.
was
I'm
March
saying.
10th.
On March 10th, 2026,
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until
What I'm saying is
3
that the whole topic is irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit. He's allowed to be where he was at. He was allowed to be there anyway. He doesn't do anything for anybody.
days later, March 13th. So how could Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th? Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this all up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it is not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared, the police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they've completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
What?
Yeah, and that's how they took it over. And saying they had like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers. So that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers early
What
on.
did I say?
What the law says is if the average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors. So I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe. A reasonable person would not feel unsafe in this situation. Well, I can say the same thing. I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search in our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search in our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court. But now I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder
Okay,
the manager of
Chad,
the
this guy is saying, let's be honest, this guy's saying, this guy or this is saying this and saying that. Like, he believes a bazillion shit his other guy is saying on his reports when he's seen the video. He's seen that they went up to him 4 times without making an arrest. It's what's fucking useless. This guy watched the video and has seen that this guy is giving him false information that leads to his officers wasting time and wasting resources and money and taxpayer money. Like,
store.
Now let's go to the heroin.
I mean,
claim.
what
We
a
got pulled over
dog
by the
shit
police,
department.
And they claimed that we had heroin on us.
Police officers are going to conduct the search of your person because there are substances in the vehicle. Really?
Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
What?
If we look back on the...
Now explain what kind of impairment we're talking about here, though. I mean, at least debunk it. I mean,
Expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day with Tyler that I noticed.
What's the goal?
Right now. Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go. Is all I really was gonna do.
what?
Charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything. We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon.
So that's the thing that they use to search a car for 3 hours.
Arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent
You can't do that.
the deletion
No,
or alteration
sir.
of data. According to Officer Richardson's report, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
The phone has nothing to do with the initial arrest. So even if that were true and they were trying to get a warrant for what's inside of the phone, they had nothing in the initial stop or initial run will allow them to take that phone in the first place.
The police officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone.
Exclamation mark.
His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So American Fork Police Department, if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts.
They did. They watched the video. To see the fucking shoulder, they watched the video. I mean, bro, they don't give a shit.
No one's believing it.
This is gangsterism.
The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny because a lot of you guys probably think I'm like trying to make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow. I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to stay up all night, every night, and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick.
Guys like you for
but
breakfast.
If you want to see part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2, I'm only dealing with misdemeanors, but part 3 is when they start accusing.
You can't tell us the story because they didn't watch the video. I watched the video. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole video. You weren't there because you were not anymore. I watched the whole video and all the other shit that's with it. Fucking bitch. You're just a moron. You're a moron. Alright. Let me finish it.
The American Fork Police. I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low. 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2, I'm only dealing with misdemeanors, but part 3 is when they start accusing me of felony, so it gets insane. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna crank out videos in the meantime until part 3's done. But thanks for all the support, and let's find Brian's Legos.
Well, chat, what is scary though is that, I mean, I said the other day, what's kind of sad in a way is that in order to make a good video and good content, they did some stuff that's pretty borderline, if not over the line. That's kind of scary, and that's gonna bite me in the ass for sure a little bit. But that doesn't mean that what the police is doing isn't wrong. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Like,